Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place, expressing in, as, and through each and every one of us this morning. So let's prepare ourselves now for meditation. Relax. Come fully into this moment. Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Allow your body to be still. And this is February, the month of love. So in this time of meditation, let us sit together in love. And let us review what love is and what love isn't from Scripture. 1 Corinthians 13, verses 1 through 7. If I speak in the tongue of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I had the gift of prophecy and knew all the mysteries of the future and knew everything about everything, but didn't love others, what good would I be? And if I had the gift of faith so that I could speak to a mountain and make it move, without love, I would be no good to anybody. If I gave everything I have to the poor and even sacrificed my body, I could boast about it. But if I didn't love others, I would be of no value whatsoever. Love is patient and kind. It is not jealous or boastful or arrogant or rude. Love does not demand its own way. Love is not irritable or resentful. It keeps no record of wrongdoing, but it rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. So let us sit now for a few moments in the silence, contemplating love, love that never ends. And taking another breath as an end to our meditation time. Let us remind ourselves silently, I am love and I am loved. I am love and I am loved. I am love and I am loved. And that's the truth. Amen. I have to see you better. This means looking with the eyes of love, right? It's kind of hard to see out. They're kind of dirty. It's good to be with you today. The last time I was here was summer, so the weather was quite different. And being from Phoenix, where, it's going to be like 80 this week, this is kind of cold for me. but I'm happy to be here with you. And so I want to know, did you all have a good Valentine's Day? Good, that's good. I did too. And we're going to talk about, I'm kind of still in Valentine's Day, so we're going to talk about love today. Because love was and always is the answer to any question, ever. There was a little girl who asked her older brother, she said, what is love? What is love anyway? And he replied, love is when you steal the M&Ms from my lunch bag every day and I still hide them in the same place. And then there was this little 4-year-old boy who told his dad that he decided to get married. And the dad says, well, great, wonderful. Do you have a girl in mind? And the boy said, yep, I'm going to marry Grandma. And he goes on, he says, she loves me, and I love her, and she's the best cook and the best storyteller ever in the whole world. And so the dad says, well, that's nice, but we have a small problem here. And the little boy goes, what's the problem? And the dad says, well, your grandma is my mother, and how can you marry my mother? And the little boy says, why not? You married mine. Laughter's good, huh? Well, Emmett Fox once said that there is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer. No disease that enough love will not heal. No door that enough love will not open. No gulf that enough love will not bridge. No wall that enough love will not throw down. No wrong that enough love will not set right. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how helpless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all, if only you will love enough. You will be the happiest, most powerful being in the world. Pretty powerful words, aren't they? And then Jack and Cornelia Addington, in their book, Your Needs Met, wrote, there is no problem on earth that love cannot heal. Love is the answer to every human need. So love is the answer, no matter the question. Love is the only answer. So do you believe that? Some of you do? Yeah, some of you do? Okay. Well, in his book, The Path to Love, Deepak Chopra offers some very straightforward, beautiful words on how love is the answer on this path that we've chosen and how we can rely on love in every situation. So this is what he wrote. Love is meant to heal, to renew, to help us feel safe, inspire us with its power, make us certain without doubt or fear, to unveil immortality, to bring peace, to harmonize differences, to bring us closer to God. And I really love that last one, because when that last one happens, the others just follow. The last one is the foundation of them all. Love brings us closer to the God of our being. And when then we experience healing and renewal, safety, inspiration, certainty, a realization of our immortality, and peace, and harmonizing of differences. So if we think back over our lives and are really, really, really honest with ourselves, love was and always the answer to whatever was going on. You agree? Some of you do, okay? So what it was the answer no matter what was going on, no matter how good or not so good the experience. The love of God was always, always, always right there knocking on our hearts, providing the answer to every challenge. So I love the story about the pediatric nurse who, before listening to Joey's heart, put the stethoscope in Joey's ears and let him listen to his own heart. And he got so excited, and his eyes lit up, and his face broke out in this big grin. And he said to her, "Is that God knocking inside of me?" So really, the love of God is always knocking, always, and is always available, is always the answer, no matter what. In Revelation 3:20, we read, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, love will answer." Love is the answer. God is love. God is the answer. So we're going to look at those points from Deepak. And he said, love is meant to heal. Love can heal the angers and the hurts from the past. Love is the answer to not so good childhood. Love is the answer to healing the body, healing any wounds of the present. Because love is the answer, love brings us closer to the God of our being, and is the answer then for all the healing of all the hurts, no matter how big or how small. This next point is love is meant to renew. Any of you ever feel down once in a while? How about discouraged? Anybody feel discouraged sometimes? Anyone ever been in despair? Some of you have, oh, good, I'm glad I'm not the only one, you know. Because it happens sometimes, doesn't it? It happens. But, if there's a but in here, see, if love is the answer, then I think what it does is helps us to drop into our heart space and maybe take a moment, think of someone we love, think of something we're grateful for, and then take some deep breaths and actually feel the love, feel our blessings, and then we are renewed. We can become renewed. Many things that in the outer probably aren't going to change right away, but guess what? We have. And that makes all the difference. So I want to affirm together, I am renewed and revived in the love of God. Ready? I am renewed and revived in the love of God. And like Reverend Richard always says, could we do it one more time? Well, we mean it, okay? I am renewed and revived in the love of God. There, okay. So the next one is love is meant to help us feel safe. Do all of you feel safe right here today in the sanctuary? You all do? Okay. Well, why? Why do you think you feel safe? Because love lives here, right? Love lives here. Well, the truth is, we can feel safe wherever we are, anywhere. And the reason is because of where God lives. Where is that? Right here. Love lives here. God lives here. So the truth is we can feel safe anywhere. So my goddaughter, who is in her 30s now, but she used to stay overnight with us once a week from the time she was just a baby until she started kindergarten. It was such a fun time for us. At about the age of 3 or 4, when we tucked her into bed, she'd make sure we had her night light on and we left her bedroom door open so that she wouldn't get scared. And one night I was sitting beside her on the bed, and she was telling me that sometimes she got scared at preschool. And so I reminded her that God was always with her and that God lived in her heart. And if she got scared, that she could look down at her heart and feel safe. So to practice, she lifted up her pajama top and she looked down at her tummy and she patted it and said, "Hey, God." So we just said, okay, it's all good. So as long as she felt safe, God could live in her tummy. It's fine. Okay. So anyway, love it. And then the next point then is love is meant to inspire us with its power and make us certain without doubt and fear. If you've been around Unity for any amount of time, you probably know all about the power of using the I am, right? You know about the power of using the I am to identify with our spiritual nature, with our divinity, right? So I am, and only using the I am with Christ qualities or positive things, like the 12 powers, like I am faith, I am strength, I am love, I am life, I even perfect health, harmony, all those positive things, like you have the signs up on the side. So the story that comes to mind for this one is for me during my, first few months of sobriety, which were 83 and plus years ago, or 88, 38 plus years ago, 88, God, oh, holy moly. Anyway, 38 plus years ago. And being newly sober then, I found that without booze, to mask stuff, everything upset me, everything. I mean, a broken nail would upset me, right? And so one day at work was particularly challenging for me, and so I went to a meeting at noon, and I was whining. I said, they call it sharing, but I was whining. I was whining. And this old timer, he'd had a lot of sobriety. He was an angel, really. He came up to me after the meeting, and he had a felt-tipped pen, and he had me put my palm out, and right on my palm, I am okay this moment. Like I said, he was an angel. I'm okay this moment. And I didn't wash my hand for a week. And any time, even now, that I'm upset with something, I can see that writing on my palm. I can see it, and it straightens me right out, I can be okay in that moment. So I want you to affirm with me, I am okay this moment. I am okay this moment. Yeah, we are. All right. All right, now say, I am love. I am love. Okay. I'm okay and I am love. Brings us right back to center. So if we use those two little short affirmations when we're doubting our abilities or we're really scared silly about something, that happens, it can gently bring us back into our center. And whatever we will need will be provided. So it's worth a try, right? Okay. So acknowledge the God of your being as the I am on your hand or living in your heart or on your tummy. It doesn't matter. Just don't pull your shirt up in public, I don't think. That would not work. The next point is love is meant to unveil immortality. Well, I think it's important for us to realize that this physical life, this body, isn't all there is. life continues as an ever upward spiral. And knowing that love is the answer, I believe helps us walk through this life trusting that this leg of the soul's journey is just a small portion of the journey that is eternal. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Love is meant to bring peace. I have an affirmation for this one that I use a lot. I say, as a loved being, I sleep in peace, wake in joy. I live from a place of serenity and calm. So I use this affirmation for sure before I watch the news or listen to the news or anything, which I don't do much of. Or I'm driving, I live in Phoenix, like I said, so if I'm driving in rush hour traffic, believe me, I use that one a lot. The next one is love is meant to harmonize differences. This is a really challenging one for me. I don't know if it is for you or not, but do any of you have any disharmony in your life? I guess so, huh? Anybody have somebody that you don't agree with and just can't seem to get along with? Maybe someone that you avoid conversations with except for the weather, like, oh, it's nice out, or it's cold, or it's hot, or whatever. I'm going to take a little more time with this particular point because I think it's really important, and because I want love to harmonize differences. And I suspect that you do too, don't you? Some of you do, okay. Well, the Dalai Lama once said that we all have friends, and those people in our lives who are easy to love and easy to forgive. And then he said that we have sacred friends, those who call us to greatness, but who are very difficult to deal with. Yeah. And it is through our relationships with our sacred friends that we activate our own evolution. And then Van Jones, founder of the American Dream Movement, once said, when it's harder to love, love harder. So, if love is always the answer, I have a few suggestions for loving someone when it's tough. And the first one is look for the good. Look for the good. Behold the Christ. Look for what they do right and ask yourself, what am I thinking about this person? Can I change my thoughts about this person and start thinking about what there is to love about them, about him or her? And the second one is pray for their highest and best. Now this means that we don't pray for them to change, to meet our needs and expectations. For an example, I prayed for my husband, that's my ex, after our divorce every single day. I prayed for his health, his happiness, and his prosperity. And I got to tell you, I didn't mean a word of it. I didn't. But after about 9 months, which I find a significant amount of time, one morning I was doing my prayers, and I found I did mean it. I did mean it. It was just so wonderful. And from that point on, that moment on, my heart healed. My heart healed. And I forgave myself. I forgave him for the mistakes that we had made. And then we were able to parent together. And we even did family holidays together after that, because we had a relationship then that worked, because love was the answer. Love was the answer. So the third point in dealing with someone, a sacred friend, is accept and forgive. These selfless acts mirror the love of God because they are unconditional acts. Accepting and forgiving means we aren't asking for anything in return. We don't expect anything back, okay? And the interesting thing is that often when someone receives that kind of love, they do change. They do change. My husband did. So in his Real Love work, author Greg Bear says that real love melts monsters. Real love melts monsters. But, as a minister and doing counseling stuff, I'm often asked, well, Reverend Billie, how do we love someone when they don't appear to even love themselves? For example, that they abuse drugs or alcohol, or they don't take responsibility from themselves, or they blame others for their challenges. No. Okay. So people say, what's the right action to take then? How do we apply love in these situations, these tough situations? How do we do that? Is love really the answer in these circumstances? And of course, love is still the answer. But one of the things that unity teaches is self-responsibility, right? We learned that, which means that we must set boundaries at times and under certain circumstances. And only one person can tell you what those boundaries are. You, right? Setting boundaries are an act of self-love. So it's important when you're in a situation like this that you tap into your heart and through prayer and meditation, seek inner guidance. And then trust that love is guiding you to act appropriately, which sometimes means loving from afar. But it's always loving, not condemning. See, I have a family member in my life that I love from afar. I've done my forgiveness work, and I'm clean in that area. I've accepted her as she is, reminding myself that acceptance does not mean that I approve of her behavior. I pray for her. I give thanks that she's given me the opportunity to look deeply at myself and my own somewhat interesting behaviors. But I find it very uncomfortable to be with her, so I do love from afar without guilt. So on that note, just take a breath. That's a difficult one. Our last point is love is meant to bring us closer to God. As I've said before, when this last one happens, the others follow. The last one is the foundation of them all. Love brings it closer to God, closer to our true nature. And then we experience healing, renewal, safety, inspiration, certainty, a realization of our immortality, peace, and harmonizing of differences. Because when we open our hearts to allow God's love to just pour out, to be the love of God that we are, that we express, are here to express, then love happens and is the answer to every question. Do I hear an amen? God bless you.